hope it's not too dark over here. I just wanted to sit in the shade and calm this baby down. She just walked up and I'm actually, it's okay. She's a little spooked. She was the last one of the flock to find her way back. So now I can kind of like just breathe. I built this A-frame, half garden fence, half wire fencing last week because their little area that I had them in previously, they were growing out of it way too quickly. So I felt like I needed a quick upgrade to just give them more space and, you know, allow them to do their chicken thing. I ran out to Home Depot, bought some PVC pipe, bought some fencing, and then just used whatever I had left around here to put it together. I am a very attentive person for the most part. So even though I have 2 dogs, we have horses, cows, and some adopted donkeys, I'm an attentive person. I'm always, you know, checking on the animals, making sure that, you know, everything's running the way that it needs to run. So this morning, I kind of stepped out of my comfort zone because normally I'm the main caretaker. I am the ranch hand. Like, I take care of everything in the morning, from feeding the cow, watering the animals, bringing them outside because I still have these guys inside at nighttime because we don't have their coop up yet. So I bring them inside at night just to make sure that nothing happens to them, because they can stay in here during the day, but at nighttime there's just way too many predators that I don't even want to risk that. So long story short, I woke up this morning, cooked breakfast, decided I needed to go to the store. Our local little shack store, it's only store is only at the most 30 minutes. I'm there and back. I told my husband, don't let Pawpaw out, our Great Dane, until I pull off, because he has a tendency to run after me down the road. So he didn't let him out until I left. And when I get back, I go inside, give my husband what he asked me to buy, and then I, of course, come to the backyard to check on my chickens. I came back and there were only 3 inside, and they were all huddled together, like laying down. And it's early in the morning, and that's not like them. Like, they're normally super active. And first of all, there was only 3 in there, so that's when I knew something was wrong. And then I noticed their demeanor, and I automatically flipped out. For those of you who suffer from anxiety, you know what I mean by freak out. It was that bad. I bring my girls outside. I heard the family up, like, we have to look for them. I don't know if Pawpaw ate them. I don't know if they just got spooked and ran off. I don't know if Pawpaw loosened something and then they just got out and wandered off, which is not like them though. So I kind of knew that my dog had ran them off. And he's not normally aggressive with them, but he is super curious. And with him being so large, it can be extremely intimidating for a small chicken. I mean, he's intimidating to most grown people. After we all came outside, my daughter screamed, "Mama bird, mama bird." And 2 had came walking up, so now we had 5. And then a little while longer, 2 more came. And by this time, I was already praying and just hoping that they were fine. I had searched this whole empty pasture next to us. I looked under the house and I found my Silky under the house. And she was soaking wet. And I was just, at this point, I just felt like a failure because they are my responsibility. I chose to bring these animals here. They didn't ask to come to my house. So I just feel like when you choose to have animals and when you choose to have livestock, you really have to be mindful of them and their safety. Because they're not here to just be like casualties. These are lives, they're going to give you something very valuable, and in turn you need to at least be able to protect them. So at this point I felt really discouraged and just really upset with myself. I told my husband, like, I just shouldn't have left the house. Like, I just shouldn't have gone to the store. But like, as mom, we have responsibilities, and sometimes we have to go to the store, and we hope that the engine still runs right when we're gone. But unfortunately, sometimes things happen, and people aren't gonna watch your things like you will watch your things. You can get a plant babysitter to come over and water your garden when you're gone, but that plant babysitter probably isn't gonna water your garden the way that you would water your garden. You know that when you walk through the carrots and the corn, that they like deep watering. Your babysitter might just give it the same amount of time that it gives your other plants, but you're gonna know that your carrots and your corn need deep watering, so you're gonna water differently. Same with your animals. Nobody's gonna, no shade to my husband, I love you, baby, but I know what I'm doing better than anybody. Nobody can run this homestead better than me because I am here 24/7. After being discouraged, they all seemed to make their way back, and they mainly, majority of them came from this empty pasture. So I'm guessing they just free ranged for a little bit and then found their way back home. And to me, it was just so amazing that they found their way back home. They're resting now. I know they're traumatized. Like, I don't even know if they're gonna give me eggs now. Can y'all please drop down in the comment section if young chickens go through something like this where they were spooked off and maybe, you know, shocked, or I don't know what they feel, but will they still give me eggs in the future? Do I have to super baby them now? Like, I don't know what else to do. But the one thing that I know that I need to do and start putting into works today is getting their chicken coop up. A lot of people recommended that I just buy them, keep them in my house for the 8 weeks, and then have their coop ready and up by the time they need to go out. So it's about that time. They're coming up on 8 weeks. They're still gonna stay in their A-frame for now. I'm just gonna have to either have somebody sit right here when I leave and watch them the whole time, or bring them back in when I leave and take them back out when I come home. That may seem like a lot, and to be honest, it is a big responsibility. I'm always hearing chickens are easy. Chickens are so easy. And they may be, like, when they're mature and grown, but if you have a setup like mine where you live in a small house, you don't have access to a barn, you're building your homestead from scratch, you might not have the means to put them somewhere outside or in like a shed or something when you're starting off. So if you have a setup like mine, just know that it's going to be some work. You got to bring them out in the morning. You got to bring them in at night. You have to make sure nothing gets to them. You have to make sure your A-frame is sturdy enough to withstand a Great Dane. Really though, you need to make sure your A-frame can withstand a hit from a big object or animal. And the whole time that they were gone, while I was waiting for them to come back, I just kept thinking, like, this is not made for a week. This is not made for the week. Like, this experience is gonna toughen my skin a little bit. A weaker individual may have given up, you know, because we love animals, and when you think they're dead or when something happens to them, it can discourage you from even getting another one. So I was already talking myself into not getting discouraged. I was already like trying to just like gather myself up and like understand, like, this is a part of life. Prepare better, do better. You know, don't break down too much, because I was breaking down. I love these chickens. Even though they may not love me that much yet, we're still getting to know each other. I'm just glad that they all made their way back home. So if there's anything that you can take away from this video, take this away. If you're interested in homesteading, thicken your skin a little bit. Make sure you have your plan set, written down, and executed. Probably before you get your animals, it would make it a little bit easier for you. But if you can't get everything up before you get your animals, just have the plan set in place so that you can get it up in a timely manner. Don't give up on your dreams. Keep growing sunflowers. I'm gonna put her back inside with the rest of the flock, and I don't know if it's a cockerel yet or a hen, because this part here, it's a single, what do they call them, a crown? It's a single little, I forget what they're called. It's getting really red, and this one's very alert and very strong, so we're not sure yet, but we're gonna put her back in to relax. And see, look at that tail. Does that look like a rooster's tail coming on? Thanks so much for listening today, guys. Thanks so much for spending a little bit of time with me. Until next time, blessings.